Once again, I want to give all praises and honors and glories to the Most High God and to His Son, whom the world calls Jesus, and through the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew, Halalata, Barakata, Kabawata, La Ailayo Wan Yahawa, Bahasham, Adat Naya Hawashai, Bahasham Rakat Rawak Hakwadash. Double honors, peace, and salutations to the Zaquanium out on the highways and byways, the elders, prophets, forefathers, pastors, preachers, teachers of old coming back in the reincarnation to help edify, awaken, feed with milk and meat the Old and New Testament and the Apocrypha through the breakdown, the etymology of Hebrew and Greek to the hopeful elect men, males, 144,000, 12,000 of each tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel, and then the remnant, men, women, and children, remnant, who will also follow the 144,000 as they follow the Lamb. Shalom to the Zaquanium out on the highways and byways of GMS, doing all this in sincerity and fear of the Most High to wake up the hopeful elect, as I have said. Shalom to all the Akim out on the highways and byways and internet information superhighway, also following the great men at GMS in sincere doctrine and in fear of Yahweh through the Rawak Quadash and pushing out this truth and sincerity. Shalom, Brother Sharath, one more time coming at you with a video on the 12 tribes, specifically 144,000 men, male, the ruling elite under Yahushai with an iron rod in the future millennial reign. A little bit about them, who they are, what they believe in, and how they're going to be saved, which is by not taking the mark of the beast or following the image of the beast or thinking in their minds, spirit, and souls like the beast piece of shit that is Edom, Esau, the so-called European, so-called white man. And so not thinking like Esau, Edom, and the pagan heathen nations, so as to not act like them and turn to our power, Yahweh Yahushai, and the Torah, the law, statutes, and commandments, which is the way to live any life in general, and it has been given to us, to the children of Yasharallah, to the grace, the mercy of Yahweh through Yahushai. So the 12 tribes of Israel, we're quickly going to run through the 12 tribe chart because this is all whom we teach, GMS and any other Hebrew Israelite camp individual that is teaching the truth in sincerity. These are the only people we are trying to reach. Everyone who isn't on this can go fuck themselves. Seriously. Specifically Christians, and especially Edom, so-called Europeans. Judah, the so-called Negroes. Judah are the so-called black, so-called brown, African Americans that are not African at all. They lived in Africa for over a couple of hundreds, if not 1,000 years after the Judeans who live in Jerusalem, who are the number one tribe of all of Israel, after everyone else got kicked out of Israel back in 728 BC via Assyria and Babylon, that left only Judah, Benjamin, and Levi down south in Jerusalem. Well, then they pissed the Romans off, and the Romans finally did away with them. So where did they go? They went back to Africa to hide amongst the Africans because they're the same color. So Africans are a completely different race. The Judeans, Hebrew Israelites, went into Africa having the same skin color and tone. Well, for real, Israel is brownish, tannish, brownish. And Hamites are straight up dark black. Some of them are actually black or purple. So yes, there is a color of black, and it's called the Hamites because that's black purple. It's called melas, Greek melanas, which means ink as well, and ink is straight up black. So, but Judeans and Hebrew Israelites are not black. We are brown hued. We are ruddy tawny. Those are different colors or different names for brown, reddish, brown, blackish. So, Judeans, the only ones of the so-called African Americans who came on the West Atlantic slave trade to America, are the tribe of Judah. Benjamin, all the West Indians, everyone who lives in the Caribbeans, everyone who lives in the West Indies, and all those little islands that the Europeans or the UK still own, probably, those are all Benjamins. Specifically, especially Jamaica. The island of Jamaica is where most of Benjamin is. Levi are the Haitians, the little island, the half of where Haitian is and half a Dominican. The left side is Haitian, and those are Levites. The right side are Dominicans, and those are Simeons. They live together. Zebulon, Guatemalans and Guatemalans to the Panamanians. Those are all the Guatemala to Panama. It is the tip, the south before it goes into South America, it is south of Mexico. From Guatemala all the way to Panama, these 4 or 5 countries include so Zebulon is from the Guatemala all the way to the Panamanians. Also, just a real quick note, any of the tribe individually can be into any other tribe. So Judeans might be living in Mexico and call themselves Issacharians or still Judeans, so-called African Americans. Levites, Haitians, may be living with some Benjamins in Jamaica, thinking themselves to be Benjamins or knowing that they're Haitians, but they live with Benjamins. So a couple of our people are mixed with the rest of our people. We are a speckled bird even amongst each other. So we are spread out to the 4 corners of the earth amongst the heathen, pagan, and Edomites, as well as amongst each other. Some of us are in other places we wouldn't be or we shouldn't be. Like some Gadites probably live in Mexico, and some Mexicans live up here in North America and think they're Gadites, so on and so forth. As long as you're the sons of Yasharallah, you should be okay. It's not very specific on who is what for right now. Puerto Ricans, Ephraim, the little country of Puerto Rico, are the Ephraimites. The Cubans are Manasseh. The island of Cuba is Manasseh. Gad are North Americans. Reuben are the Seminole Indians living in Florida and on the southeast of America. North America. Naphtali are the Argentinians to the Chileans. All these little bitty, these 4 or 5 countries from Argentina all the way to Chile. Down here, Argentina, Chile. And again, we're all mixed up within each other. So while this tribe chart is accurate in who is who, Judah the Negro, so-called African Americans, Benjamin to the so-called West Indians, Jamaicans, there's still a little tweaking here and there because we're not 100% sure who we are. All we know is that we're from the 12 tribes of Israel and we're sons of Yasharallah, and that's as far as we can get, and that's all we need to have faith in Yahweh Yahushai, to know that we are sons of the Most High and He will save us if we follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Asher, Colombians to Uruguayans, and Issachar is the whole country of Mexico. Issachar is the whole country of Mexico, and once again, Asher is from the Colombians to Uruguay. Colombia to Uruguay, Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, Asher. And I'm not going to do it here, but I will do it in another video. There is a reason and why we believe that said tribes are in said places, because of the omens and the future portent, which is a fancy word for prophecy. Future portents or prophecies that Joseph, Yasharallah, Israel himself gave on his deathbed, pursuant to Genesis 49. He gave all the sons of Israel a prophecy, and that prophecy happens to be among other scripts in the Old Testament and the New Testament, where the 12 tribes of Israel will eventually end up. So I'm going to give you 1 or 2. Seeing that I am a so-called Mexican, I'll do with Mexico. Yashakar, he is hired. Yash is he exists, or he has, or he will have. It will come to pass. And Shakar means money. It can also mean liquor or strong drink. But for this purpose, it's Shakar. So he has, or it will come to pass that he is hired, or he will have wages. Shakar also means wages and payment. So-called Mexicans are Yashakar, which means in Hebrew he is hired. So what happens to the Mexicans? We're the first ones hired, and we're the first ones and the only ones, or not the only ones, but we're the number one, along with, and according to some statistics, the North Koreans, but I don't believe that, but along with the North Koreans, Mexicans are the number one hardest working people in all of the world. Mexicans and North Koreans, and that's on multiple sites, multiple statistics. So Mexicans are the first ones and the best ones to hire in everything. We build all things, we build everything, because we have it in us through the spirit of Yahweh Yahushua to be builders and to acknowledge with mathematics and with and with some sort of technology, lower technology, like what we do. We build houses. So we're carpentry people and plumbers and foundation workers. So we work with poles and plows and shovels. So we work and we work hard. So he is hired. Also, Asher, Colombians to Uruguayans. Asher means happy, and they are the most successful. Literally, Colombians were voted one of the most happiest people in the world. Colombians. Venezuela, Colombia, and Brazil both have the world's biggest oil reserves, so they are also rich. And Asher also means abundant in Hebrew. So the Colombians and the Uruguayans, his name is Asher, which means happy in Hebrew. And why are they happy? Because they have the most beautiful land, the most beautiful fruit and vegetables, and they're sitting on the world's largest oil reserves, bigger than the ones in OPEC over there in Saudi Arabia that Iran and Persia and the Persians own. So that's why they're happy. So with all that, that is why, and that is who the sons of Israel are. And from them, we are going to get the hopefully like 12,000 from each tribe of the 12 tribes, 144,000 males who will follow the Lamb wherever he goes, and who follow the Lamb right now wherever he goes by trying to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and who will eventually have power to reign under Yahushua with an iron rod and do and enforce the law, statutes, and commandments. So 12 tribes of Israel, really quickly. Yahawada, think the Most High in Hebrew. West Indians, Benjamin, Banyamayan, son of the right. Banyamayan, son of the right hand, or the right way, as in the right path. Haitians, Lawine, to join or to be connected to entwine. Puerto Ricans, Aparium, to be fruitful. Apar is to both be fruitful and to be healthy. Apar is also to mean healthy or to have wealth, but more specifically to have health. So apar is to be fruitful and to have health. Dominicans, Shamaiwan is to hear, as we know what Shamai is, to hear, listen, hearken. So Shamaiwan, I have heard, or I am being heard. Affliction, heard. Guatemalans to Panamanians, Zabulon is dwelling. It means high dwelling. Zabal means high or exalted, as well as dwelling or abode, a house. So technically this means high dwelling, a high lofty abode. Zebulon. The Cubans, Manasha, made to forget, because this is a hit or an admonishment to all of Israel, Yasharallah, because we forget Yahweh all the time. And Moses, Salakia, Israel named Manasseh because he thought he was forgotten from Israel when they were in Egypt. That's why he named Manasseh. Because Yahweh had forgotten them and they had forgotten Yahweh. That's why. So Manasseh means to forget. Seminole Indians, Ra'awaban, behold a sun. Ra'a means to look and Ban means sun. Ra'awaban, behold a sun. Native Americans, Gad is a troop, also means to attack, or just a group of people on the offensive assault. So a group of people, or what the group of people is doing, which is usually attacking. If there's a whole shitload of people, it's usually an army and they're usually assaulting. So Gad means to attack, a troop, or to cut. Sometimes it's also used for the word cut or penetrate. Colombians to Uruguayans, Asher means happy, abundant, and can also mean right, as in the right way or the correct way. So Asher can also mean right, as in correct and the way it's supposed to be. Argentinians to Chileans, Naphtali, which means wrestling, almost kind of what Lawai means. It means to be entwined or to twine up, to wrestle, to be mixed and mingled with something or someone else, like vines twisting up a wall, or like two people wrestling out. They're twisting and wrestling out, and they're being intermixed with each other. And then finally, the so-called Mexicans, Yashakar. He is hired. He has wages, or he, and like I said, Shakar also means drink. And who else does a whole lot of drinking? Mexicans do. Mexicans drink a lot. So he is hired, he has wages, or he drinks a lot. And those are the metaphysical, metaphorical meanings of, through the Paleo Hebrew, of the 12 tribes of Israel, the forefathers of old. And just really quickly, showing you two more 12 tribe charts that I found online. This one's okay, but it has Naphtali here as the Hawaiian Pacific Islanders, and that is wrong. The Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders are Japhetites, and probably any other heathen nations, but mostly Japhetites, so this is wrong. All the rest is correct except Naphtali. They have Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders, so this one is wrong. And Salakia. And I found this one as well, 12 tribes of Israel, and they Judah, Negroes, African Americans, so-called Benjamin, Guana and the West Indies, Levi, Hispaniola and Haiti, which is the old name of Dominican Republican, Simeon, Hispaniola, Dominican Republican. Again, Hispaniola is the old name of Dominican Republican, or the island where Haiti and Levi and Simeon are. Asher, Colombia to Uruguay. Naphtali, Argentina to Chile. Joseph, Ephraim to Manasseh. Gad, North American Indians. Reuben, Seminole Indians. Issachar, Mexico. Guatemala, Zebulon, Guatemala, Panama. And here is another off. They have Dan as Cuba, which Cuba is Manasseh, and they don't even have Manasseh. So this one also goes off here with Dan, putting it in Dan. But it does a nice thing, is giving you more specifics, like Hispaniola for the island of Haiti. So with that being said, I'll come at you with one more video on actually going into the scripts and just telling you who and what the men of 144,000 of the 12 tribes of Israel are about, who they are, and what they're going to do. So until then, shalom.